I've been continuing to add imagery to the inspiration page, and the most recent imagery is geometric abstraction. A lot of ideas kept surfacing as I was discovering this imagery, and let me take you through a couple experiments. This is, if I option click on that eyeball, is one of my blurs. Okay, these are 6,000 by 6,000 pixels, and they're these gentle flowing gradients. And I wondered, how can I add seemingly pixelation without going to mosaic and just getting drops of solid color there that lose that gentle gradient that's flowing through here? So playing around with the filters, I settled on extrude. And if you played around with extrude, you must be wondering, well, how this doesn't look like extrude. Well, play with the settings. The reason the size is 250 is because this is 6,000. So 250 is not a magic size for anything you do. You have to look at that size in relation to how big your image is. And then the depth is the smallest possible increment. I played around with a lot of different numbers. I played around with random as well, and that doesn't really work for what I wanted. So this is the setting that I went ahead and settled on, and then took this through Camera Raw and enhanced it somewhat and used clarity so we get this feeling of gradients within gradients. And then this is just an everything layer, so I can drag and drop this texture, this pattern, this rhythm, this whatever it is, onto other PSD. So if I hit F a couple times, then we can see our tabs. So if I wanted to drop this on something else, this everything layer, make sure you're on the right layer. All I do is, with the move tool right here, click and drag this up to a tab and hold it, and then come down and drop it. Now, you see these are squares, and if I hide this layer, you see these are rectangles. And the reason that is because I took these squares, and if I zoom out, take this image and move it around and position it right up in that corner, and then I'm going to have to zoom out one more time and Command T, and then pull this up and let it snap into position, hit return. Then I've dropped on the gradient onto this image, and it adheres to the image size. And then if I play with the blending modes, then I get, this is interacting with two layers below it, so not really effective. But the idea was, what would this look like? And I discovered in working through this, where there is really light colors, see how these got blown out? And nothing seems to happen in this lightest of all areas. Well, I discovered things working with multiple images, and then said, I wonder how it would work on something like this, which is an unenhanced image straight off of Pexels. And I kind of liked, if I hit Command 0, Command 1, you start to see what's going on here. And you can see the gradients within gradients. Now, is this a finished product? No, this is part of the journey of discovery. Getting inspired by something. You're not seeing me change programs because I've got two monitors up, and it currently is in the opposite monitor. Getting inspired by these geometric abstractions and trying to figure out how I can use that to enhance something as simple as a gradient. Experiment. Loyo. Start discovering new ways to use these programs to hack the way they were intended to work, so they work like you would like them to work. Just an idea. There's so many more jumping off points here that are hinted at by these images. This right here with my blurs, oh yeah. Ideas galore. They just keep popping up. I want you guys to use your own inspiration, wherever it comes from, that relates to MacLab Media, and figure out new ways to use these programs to create goods, because that's the name of the game, is we're creating goods while we learn about these programs and how to use them creatively.